Hello. So I'm outside waiting on my mom. I took her to the doctor's, and yeah, I'm in my house clothes. I'm not in the mood to go inside and deal with people. If you didn't know, I'm not a social person. I'm a loner. I'm very into just hanging out with my sisters, my mom, my nieces. You know, once in a while, one of my aunts and uncle, and that's about it. Like I really don't. I'm not very social. But yeah, anyways, let's talk about finance because that's pretty much what my YouTube channel and every social platform I have is all about finances, personal finance to be exact. Um, so one thing I want to talk about is how there's a shortage of jobs. What I mean by that is I'm going to be a little political because whether we like it or not, it is political. Um, there's this whole thing of immigrants taking people's jobs, and that's so untrue. If anything, it's robots, it's AI that are taking people's jobs. So, about, I would say, 12, maybe 10 years ago, I used to work at Wawa. And when I worked there, I never been to a Wawa. I just saw that it was open. And in that time, I worked at McDonald's, and I was so sick and tired of McDonald's, but I had to make money. So I applied for Wawa. And I found out that people that want to order their food, they don't talk to you. They go in the kiosk and they put everything they want in their sandwich, their bowls, whatever they order. And they don't talk to us. We just make the food. Well, now, when I go into a Wawa 12 years later, it's not like what they used to have, 2 cashiers, maybe 3 cashiers the most, depending on how busy it gets. Now there's only one cashier, and then I see like 2 or 3 kiosks specifically to charge, their stuff. So I'm seeing less and less people having jobs because of these kiosks, robots, and so forth. Another thing is, for those who know me, I love to once in a while get a biggie bag because biggie bags is a good deal. You get a drink, a sandwich, nuggets, fries, all that for 5, maybe 6 something, depending on what you get. And when I go there, I don't talk to anybody to get my food. I have to, because there's no option, I have to type in my order on a kiosk and then pick it up at an area where I wouldn't say cashiers because they don't deal with money or anything like that. When I place an order, I pay for it and everything there and the kiosk. Or that's when I go inside Wendy's, or when I go to a drive-thru. Now they have AI taking my order. So the only thing humans are doing are just preparing the food for now, until they discover a way for robots to create the food, and next thing you know, there's no humans in those fast food places. So what used to be a job for high schoolers to work in the weekends or the summers is going to become extinct, And another thing is, and it makes me kind of sad too, is that when I go to the movie theater, and they don't have that much customers like before either. I'm sure because of the price of everything. Because when I used to go to the movie theaters as a kid, it would be so packed that it would be hard to find seats. Now, that's not the case anymore. It's to the point that there's even assigned seats. Um, Now I don't see anybody outside the, what's it called? I don't know the name of it, but there used to be an area where people will, you know, you can place tickets. Like you will tell them, oh, I want to see this movie, and you tell them how many tickets, you pay for it, etc., etc. And then I would say about 12, maybe 10 years ago, they started having kiosks. So you had the choice of either paying for the tickets and everything with a human sitting down, or you could go to the kiosk. Now they don't have either one. I only see one person inside the movie theater if nobody wants to use their online app, AMC app or whatever. But I've been using the app because I will only go to AMC when I get those gift cards from work, and those gift cards are not even like plastic gift cards. It's like those gift cards that you have to use it online. But yeah, for whatever reason, it seems like the government is trying their best to take over every human job as possible, you know. That's just the way it is right now. And it's frightening. It's scary because the cost of living is super high, and if we don't have a job, and there's even people that are working multiple jobs, not to save money, but just to make ends meet alone, that's the scary part. And the fact that they're trying their best to have machines and AIs take over jobs, take over even professions, because they even want to have robots teach kids. And what else? They want to have robots teach kids. My mom was telling me that she saw on TikTok that they even want to have some kind of robot as a PCT, which for me is scary because that's my job. I'm PST, which means the only difference is they train me to be a secretary too. But still, I'm scared because out of all the jobs that I have worked at, this is the most high paying job that I have worked at. I make decent money, so I'm scared too. But yes, the struggle is very real. It's very real, and it's rough out here, I don't know what else to say. And also back in the day, and now when I say back in the day, I'm talking about Jesus' time. Jesus was a carpenter, back in the days and his time, and even in the Little House on the Prairie time and so forth, people could learn a skill like carpenting and make good money, raise a family and everything with that skill. There was more women knew how to sew. Now, I have even tried to look for classes to learn how to sew, and everything that I find is more like a workshop. They'll have you sew some kind of something that I don't even want. That's the other sad part, the carpenting, sewing, even mechanic job. The mechanic job, before, it was very simple, there wasn't any sensors or anything like that. Now you even have to learn about computers, it feels like, to be a mechanic. Everything is not as simple as it used to be. So I try my best to have more compassion for people. Like when I see someone having a bad day, and trust me, I see more people with faces of misery. And I understand because it's rough. It's really rough out here. So I try my best not to judge them, you know? So, yes, from everything that I'm trying to say, it's not the immigrants. If anything, immigrants, they work in jobs that is very hard to find people to work at. You know, I don't care what anyone says, even myself. You know, I was born and raised here. I'm American. I don't want to go pick up fruits and vegetables unless that's the last option and I have no choice. Then I'll do it, but that's not my first choice, you know? Um, a lot of, when I used to work at McDonald's, a lot of Cubans that didn't know how to speak English, that would be their first job, is working at McDonald's. You know, they're not good. They're not taking no high engineering jobs, the majority. You know, it's, well, there's, how should I put this? Because I don't want to put immigrants down either. But for the most part, they're taking jobs that Americans would not take, you know? And yes, there's immigrants that come over here to be doctors, to have good, high paying professions. However, it's a long process. You know, it's not just they come here and bang, they land a job. No, they have to make sure to take tests, make sure they pass them and everything to work here, you know. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. I hope all of y'all have a blessed day, blessed week. Stay safe, and please be kind to each other. Bye.